Hey there everyone, in this video we're talking all about Saturn square Uranus, which is not only the feature aspect of this week, but it's also the feature aspect of 2021. So I'm Cassandra from CassandraTindall.com, and you can find out more about me over at my website. So as I mentioned, Saturn square Uranus is the signature aspect of this year. It happens 3 times. So the first time is this week, February 18, 17 if you're in the north, and it happens again in June, and then the final aspect happens in December. So when Saturn, the planet of foundation, structure, rules, responsibilities, limitations, forms a tension-inducing aspect between rebellious, inventive, and innovative, and sometimes shocking Uranus, we really get caught up between the tension between what's familiar and what's new or exciting or fresh or different. And then, of course, struggling with that tension point, how much do we change and how much do we stay the same? So Uranus in Taurus, Uranus in general, really waves the flag for rewriting the rule book, throwing out the old rules and writing new ones. Sometimes those rules might be no rules at all. We've definitely got some collective suggestions of how that may play out. It's about the rebellious, the inventive, and the innovative energy. And this is pitted against a staunch traditionalist, somebody or an energy that is more about structure and limitations and systems and things that have been proven or stood the test of time. It's sort of the young versus the old, the new versus the old. Okay, so these energies are really coming up to, real front and center of the energy of this week. It has been in play pretty much since the beginning of January, or December, January, but getting right into the thick of it now as these 2 planets perfect the square aspect. So that happens just after midnight, so about just after 2 a.m. here in Australia on the 18th of February. And if you're watching from other parts of the globe, that's going to happen in the Northern Hemisphere on the 17th. So this is going to be a tension point. This is fixed sign energy after all. And fixed signs are, generally speaking, not friends with change. They prefer things to be rigid or reliable or guaranteed. And so this energy is asking you to reconsider that. So this is all happening at 7 degrees of Aquarius. Saturn's at 7 Aquarius and Uranus is at 7 Taurus. So if you have planets or points at around, say, 5 to 9 degrees of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you're definitely going to be feeling these energies. So when I say planets, obviously we're talking about the 10 planets that astrologers generally use, but the points are the ascending degree and of course the midheaven degree as well. So that's definitely going to be an energy that you'll probably feel at a more personal level. So what's also making this aspect a little bit more tension-inducing or volatile is that the moon is also applying towards Uranus, and then of course Mars as well in the mixes there. So we've got this very volatile planetary energy. The moon is very swift moving. Uranus likes to shake things up and get the tension out really quickly. It likes to shock or electrify a situation. So it's not about it's not a strategy planet, put it that way. And then we've got Mars too, which Mars is a planet of strife and tension and can be quite provoking and aggravating as well. Then we've got all of the other areas of the sky pretty much being filled all by Aquarius right there. And this is all looking to Saturn for guidance. And Saturn in Aquarius is in of itself is also trying to maybe rewrite rules and rewrite structures and systems, trying to honor the space between what has stood the test of time, but also how things can be changed and improved upon for the better. So what's really also a part of this energy is not only what's new or old, but also what is fast and slow, and how long it may take to actually make meaningful structural change, whether that's on the collective level or at a personal level too. There might be some aspects of your life that you really want to renovate or rehaul, and do things differently. We can't always go from zero to hero overnight. Sometimes we do have to just implement things from a step-by-step approach, which for the most part is how fixed signs like to operate. They will consider change, they will consider doing things differently if they have a step-by-step sort of rule book, if you like, about, okay, if I take this step, then it's going to take me to this point and to that point and to that point. So it's almost like every step of the way, they kind of want a guarantee that they're doing the right thing. And of course, in life, we know that there are no guarantees. So often when it comes to the idea of change, when things are changing, change everything. And sometimes that can be a really healthy approach. But then on other times, it might be just about just take baby steps. Have that faith and courage that the change is going to happen, even if it might be frustratingly slow or a little bit more quickly, or happening more quickly than you're otherwise comfortable with. So this aspect is really going, and this year, if we talk about where we are in, back in January last month to where we'll be in December, some of us might be frustrated by the lack of progress, while others might be, wow, I went a lot further than what I actually thought I would or could. So I think this aspect, not only is it going to affect our charts differently, depending if we've got that 5 to 7 influence of fixed signs, but also to with our own unique relationship to change. So some of us are, leap into things, act now, give me the details later. And others can be sort of the paralysis by analysis, that they don't take a step forward or they don't make a move because they really fear or are uncertain of the unknown. So with that in mind, going back to the astrology that surrounds this aspect. So one thing that really stands out to me too is that the sun is hanging at that 29th degree of a fixed sign as all this is happening. So the 29th degree of a fixed sign can be a real tension point at the best of times. This feeling of events or a situation really being dragged out or taking longer than they should. It's almost like this cliffhanger energy. If you're watching a show on TV and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to have like one more episode and then I'll go to bed, and then they end on this real cliffhanger, and you're like, oh, damn it, I have to watch another episode now. Or it ends on a real cliffhanger and then you've got to wait for the next season. So this is also going to be, another level of things maybe feeling slow, stuck, or stagnant. Keep in mind that this is the first of 3 squares. So this is the introductory phase where we're really getting the hard and heavy, okay, this is the energy that we're dealing with for the year. Obviously, there's been the build-up and the build-up over the last several weeks, but now we're really getting to the crescendo of events with the sun hanging there at the end of Aquarius there. So this is also a real stillness is suggested with this. We probably all have parts of our life that we really do want to, are we there yet? Just hurry up already. But this is the last degree of the sun in the depths of winter before it slips into Pisces, and then signs of spring start to become apparent. Talking in the Northern Hemisphere. Here, obviously, it's the reverse for Australia. But, just before getting on here and recording this video for you, over the last few days, I've seen on social media, for example, there's parts of America that don't see snow, generally getting snow. A friend of mine in Olympia, don't often get snow there. They got snow. I'm seeing it in Austin, in Texas. They don't generally get snow and they've got snow. So this is sort of like the last grueling leg of a winter in that sense. So when I'm from a part of the globe that never gets snow, so I'm only speaking from how it looks on video, but there's a certain gentleness almost that comes from falling snow. And it always seems very quiet. And there's something with the way that the cold and the snow and the way that sound works, that it is actually very quiet when snow falls. So there is this symbol here, or this suggestion here, that when there's tension and you feel the crossroads that you've got to make a choice about this, or you have to make a decision with that, or got to make a move with this or that, or whatever the thing is for you, it's just about taking that breath, that step back, and a really big, deep, nourishing breath, and perhaps just really slowing down and, just allowing the breath or the air or the energy just to like land on you like a snowflake in the snow. And when the snowflake hits the snow, it blends with it and merges with it. And that's where you may find the answers, is when you feel that tension, resist, pull back, and gain your energy or your power back in a certain situation. Even though technically speaking, Mercury is retrograde as this happens, it is at the station degree. So what's going to happen over the course of the next few days is that Mercury is going to hit that station degree. Well, it's already at the station degree, but it'll actually sort of, slow right down and move through the process of shifting gears, okay, out of reverse and back into drive. And so that's also bringing the suggestion of stillness, that there's still a little piece of the puzzle to be revealed, or there's still more information to be had or more clarity to be gained. And it's not something that's just going to happen in an instant moment, or it may in some cases too, of course. So what is the most interesting part of this particular station of Mercury is it's now ending the first retrograde cycle of 2021. So hopefully you've had some opportunity to perhaps rethink, readdress, review, redo, all the re's with your particular part of your chart that's ruled by Aquarius. However, with this station degree, what is happening is, from a technical standpoint, when Mercury was retrograde, it was applying towards Saturn because it was moving backwards and applying towards Saturn. But as it stations, it's kind of saying, well, sayonara Saturn, and moving towards Jupiter. And so Jupiter at this particular degree is within its own Egyptian terms. So that's just another level of dignity for Mercury. I won't go into the Egyptian terms in this video. Maybe it's something I'll save for another time. If you do want to explore that topic, I do have a webinar available on that on the blog. So on the homepage, you just go to the courses classes link, and it will take you there. The back end of their courses and all of that is being done now as Mercury is retrograde, so hopefully launching soon. So Mercury is stationed, which when it's stationing, it's at its most intense, most revelatory point. It's like, okay, I was sick, I was run down, I was under the weather, but now I'm recovered and I don't have my full mojo back yet, but I'm on the path, I'm on the upswing. So not only is Mercury on the upswing, it's now turning away from Saturn and moving towards Jupiter. So this is a real suggestion here of things on the upswing, things looking towards something that is more positive, potentially, more uplifting, more inspiring. So it is gradually starting to shift the heaviness or the tension towards something that might be more idealistic or inspiring, or potentially possible. You might also notice as this happens that the sun is also within that first 2 degrees of Pisces, which is where Jupiter itself will reach mid-year this year. So that's something in that too, I think, where we may start to get a little bit of traction or a little bit of momentum around things that may come a little bit more to fruition mid-year when we get Jupiter in Pisces. So that's from May 14 till about July 28. Now, I think this particular station of Mercury is going to be really, I guess, powerful, for want of a better word. It's really going to deliver the goods, in my opinion, because the moon is in Gemini, Mercury's sign, and applying to the North Node. So this might totally be the finale of the retrograde hassles if you are experiencing those. If you are experiencing those delays or frustrations, Mercury, a Mercury-ruled moon applying to the node there might really sort of amplify or fast forward things. So those things that were delayed may all of a sudden be now not only in direct motion, but moving quite quickly. So a lot there. We're just covering a few of the main tidbits for the week. But if you did want to dive into the weekly astrology more, invite you to join me in my membership offering, which is the Golden Circle Club. And of course, all of those details are over on the website. You get videos for each week, loads of resources, a new moon Q&A every month, additional content I don't share in other places, and various bonuses and extra goodies as well. So anyway, bye for now. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I look forward to catching you in the next one.